Welcome to Y News, I am Christopher. At 8 p.m. on May 21st, China's Internet Information Office suddenly released, Micron's products sold in China failed to pass the cybersecurity review. Since March 31, 2023, after China's Internet Information Office opened a review of Micron, it has now finally arrived at an official result, while demanding that relevant operators should stop purchasing Micron products. This news instantly triggered a huge shock in the industry, because in the past history, China has never taken such a harsh attitude towards the US chip giant, and the hidden message behind it is enough to change the future development and direction of global semiconductors. Through a number of media collations, it seems that Micron has been one of the key promoters of the US crackdown on China's chip industry, which has produced several substantial injuries to Chinese companies. According to data from the U.S. House of Representatives, Micron has spent $9.54 million over the 5 years from 2018 to 2022, submitting 170 lobbying submissions, making it the most lobbied company in the U.S. About 76% of the content refers directly to China, and about China and competition is their common vocabulary. In 2017 alone, Micron took on Taiwan's UMC, Fujian Jinhua, and SMIC, first falsely accusing Taiwan's UMC of stealing Micron's technology in handing it over to Fujian Evolution, and then preventing SMIC from receiving a loan from the U.S. Export-Import Bank, ultimately putting all three companies on the U.S. sanctions list. In October 2022, Micron also asked the U.S. government to crack down on Changjiang Storage and Hefei Changxin on the grounds that Changjiang Storage supplies Huawei. By lobbying the U.S. government to help benefit themselves, this has been a common tactic of Micron. In the 1980s, the U.S. and Japan semiconductor dispute, around 2000 when the rise of South Korea's semiconductor, Micron is to promote the U.S. government to suppress the important behind the scenes of the enterprise. Even the Americans themselves are aware of Micron's various dishonor. In April, Bloomberg, CNN, the New York Times and other U.S. media have pointed out in the article, Review Micron Technology may be in retaliation for U.S. sanctions. What is the problem with Micron? What is the impact of stopping Micron's procurement on global semiconductors? Let's talk about it. Friends who understand the semiconductor industry should have heard of Micron, a chip giant from the United States with a market value of more than 500 billion yuan, is one of the world's largest suppliers of memory chips and imaging semiconductor devices. The main products include DRAM, NAND flash memory, SSD and CMOS sensors, which is often referred to as memory. All of our electronic products and instruments, from small smartwatches and washing machines to large aircraft and satellites, must use memory chips as long as they need to run operating systems and application software inside, which shows their importance. According to the fourth quarter of 2022 data, the global DRAM market, Micron with 23% market share ranked third, after Samsung and SK Hynix, China's Changjiang Storage and other overall share of only 4.6%. From the share can be seen, if not Micron, the memory chip market is basically the world of South Korea. Therefore, Micron has been called the last glory of the US memory chips. Now, this last glory of the United States was officially said by China cannot. According to official news, Micron products have more serious cybersecurity problems hidden, causing significant security risks to China's critical information infrastructure supply chain, affecting China's national security. For this reason, the Network Security Review Office made the conclusion of not passing the Network Security Review in accordance with the law. In accordance with the cybersecurity law and other laws and regulations, operators of critical information infrastructures within China should stop purchasing Micron's products. This is relatively clear. As a company that provides memory chips, Micron is running the most core operating systems and application software in its chips, which involves all aspects of China's thousands of industries, and will have a huge impact on China's military, finance, and livelihood in the event of an information leak. What is the impact of stopping the purchase of Micron on global semiconductors? As the world's largest importer of semiconductors, China has been one of Micron's largest markets, with China importing 538.4 billion semiconductors in 2022 alone, with imports of up to $415.58 billion, nearly one quarter of which are memory chips, mainly because of their very wide use, high demand and high prices. China's tech giant Huawei was also once one of Micron's biggest customers, purchasing tens of billions worth of memory chips from Micron every year, but since 2019, Micron has refused to supply to Huawei. In terms of revenue, Micron's revenue in China has shown a diminishing trend in recent years, with Micron's revenue in China reaching $17.357 billion in 2018, accounting for 58% of the company's total revenue that year, and by 2022, Micron's revenue in China drops to 22.8 billion renminbi, or 10.8% of the total. There are two reasons behind this. First, Huawei's encounter woke up Chinese technology companies. We no longer put eggs in a basket, have chosen domestic chips as an alternative, Micron's share of the natural down. Second, China's memory chips have made great progress in the past few years. Changjiang Storage, Hefei Changxin, Zhou Innovation and other chip giants continue to break through the 128-layer, 196-layer, 3D NAND and other memory chip core technology. We finally catch up with international counterparts. More importantly, China is now one of the few countries in the world that has mastered the whole industry chain of memory chips, from upstream silicon wafers, photoresists, targets, polishing materials, lithography machines, etching equipment, PVD equipment, CVD equipment, to midstream Changjiang Storage and other giants of various types of memory chip products to downstream consumer electronics, automotive electronics, Internet of Things, etc. China already has 100% domestic capacity. The rest is to continue to increase production capacity, improve the yield. This is the bottom of China's courage to say no to the US light. Of course, a broad brush approach will, after all, hurt the enemy 1,000 self-loss 800, so our announcement does not force all Chinese companies and individuals to purchase Micron products, but requires that operators of critical information infrastructure in China should stop purchasing Micron products. In other words, this is to both sides to leave some room for détente. The words do not say dead. This is our unique Eastern wisdom. Therefore, this time China officially said no to the US chip giant Micron, little loss to China, but TSMC, Samsung, Hynix, TI, Infineon, STMicroelectronics, and even Japan's Toshiba, Armored Man and other chip giants are the role of knocking the mountain shock tiger. It's the end of this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to the channel to support. See you next time.